Hi guys, Maikeru here. This is my video on Dagannoth Kings. I go into a guide on how to kill them with a budget setup, a high-end setup, and how to keybind your action bars, etc. to efficiently kill them. I then showcase the huge GP that you can gain right now with the new dino bosses on the horizon, making all of the rings way more money alongside the dragon hatchet that was money anyway. So let's get right into it. Starting off, there is two setups on screen. There is a high level one and a budget one. Feel free to pause the video and just take whatever items you need. But essentially, if you have the Dagannoth King mask, wear that because every 10 kills it will double a drop. And that can double a dragon hatchet or something if you're very lucky. Take an illuminated godbook for passive stats. Take a decent amulet. Max cape is good because it's a hybrid cape. And then you just want to take hybrid armor and Fremennic boots 4 if you have them. If you've done the Fremennic tasks, they give you your Dagannoth bones noted, so you don't have to worry about running like the archaeology relic or anything to note your bones for you. They will come noted with these boots. I run Animakura Sliske and Cinderbanes in my high level setup because Animakura Sliske is like the only hybrid gear that can be augmented. That means you can have like biting and stuff on it, which is pretty useful. And obviously, Dagannoth Kings can be poisoned, so Cinderbanes are the best hybrid glove. Then you just want to take your best weapons. So I took my Kopeshes, my Staff of Sliske, and my Eldritch in the high level setup. As you can see in a low level setup, I just took very, very cheap weapons. Ripper Claws, Staff of Light, and a Royal Crossbow. They do the job fine. You're just going to get less kills an hour, obviously, with a lower tier weapon. In terms of the inventory setup, just take some overloads, some prayer renewals, replenishment potions if you have them, super restores, weapon poison, spring cleaner, some note paper to note the drops, and a couple of panic food. I also take a rune pouch. Inside my rune pouch, I obviously have the air runes for when I'm maging, and also alks, because there is a couple of items that are worth alking instead of note papering. Pretty much the Fremennic stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the setup. The most important thing is what I'm about to show to kill them efficiently with action bar key binding and quick prayers and stuff like that. So let's get into that part now. If you go into your settings and you go to combat and action bar and go to action bar binding, every single one of your action bars will be able to be bound to a specific combat style. If you take a look at my bar number 9, it is bound to melee dual wield. So as soon as I put my main hand Kopesh on, it will change my bar. And as you can see above that, my range dual wield bar is bar 8. So whichever bar you want it to change, set that number to whatever type of style bar it is. As you can see, whenever I wear different weapons, it changes my bars now to the specific one that I want. This is so helpful, especially with Dagannoth Kings. Another thing is quick prayers. So for quick prayers, you can make quick prayers for any style you want. And you can give them names like I have melee, I have magic two-hander, range two-hander, stuff like that. And they'll swap between soul split and my tier 99 prayer each time. This way your quick prayers can be set up however you want them. If you only have tier 95 prayers, just set out with tier 95s. Definitely would recommend always running Soul Split and then put one of those quick prayers on each of your bars by just dragging the quick prayer icon onto your bar. That way, whenever you swap your weapons, it will swap your bar for you, right? So then each bar having each quick prayer on it means you can just click the quick prayer and DPS the Dagannoth King down. This makes it way easier to swap your prayers between fighting X, Y, and Z. One last thing, if you don't have any Dagannoth King kills, you need to get there, right? Easiest way to get there is just buy a Dagannoth King's teleport off of the Grand Exchange. Instead of having to run through Waterbirth Isle for ages, you can just teleport directly there. Once you have one kill, you can just reattune your portal in War's Retreat, so you don't need these teleports after that. I bought one and it only cost me 12k because they drop all the time, so people sell them. All you gotta do is crack that teleport and it will take you behind the Dagannoth Kings. So you go down the little ladder, up the path, and when you get to the end of the path, there is the entrance to the Dagannoth Kings. You have to jump over the rocks and then you're at the instance. Do make sure you right click and make a custom instance as well. Making a custom instance makes you able to change the spawn speed to fastest, and that's going to get you way more kills an hour than just going down the ladder into the normal instance. So do make sure you make a custom one and set it to fastest. Once you're down, activate an aura. I personally love penance because it means that I use so little prayer potions. It's crazy. Penance alongside super perennials is pretty much all you need. I do occasionally drink a replenishment potion, but that's also for Adren. The hardest part is as soon as you go down with all three being there attacking you. Once you kill one, you can then focus on a second one and then a third one, and then they'll kind of spawn in a rotation. And then you'll just be killing one at a time every single time. So a little bit of panic food for when you first go down is helpful when all three are attacking you at once. Each specific Dagannoth King needs that style weapon to be damaged. That's why we have hybrid gear. That's why we have one of each weapon. Dagannoth Rex can only be damaged with magic. Dagannoth Prime can only be damaged with range. And Dagannoth Supreme can only be damaged with melee. But like I said, once you've killed them and they go in a rotation of where you're like just killing one at a time and they're spawning constantly, it makes it very, very easy to just swap your style, swap your quick prayer, and then just go ham. And then that's all you do for Dagannoth Kings over and over and over again. You get a ton of kills an hour. You get way over 100 kills an hour, even with a budget set up here, just because of how quickly they spawn and the fact that you're killing 3 bosses at the same time. I did Dagannoth Kings for 2 hours. 1 hour where I got no loot, and the second hour where I got a couple of pieces of loot just to compare good hours and bad hours. As you can see here, this is an hour with no actual big drops. This is consistent loot. I also had a little bit of GP that I had in AUX, but I'm just going to use that GP in AUX to cover my notepaper costs. So I made 4.7 mil in consistent money. You will have to take away a couple of divine charges and stuff away from that, but that's still a good 4 mil profit with no drops. Whereas in my second hour, I got both a dragon hatchet, which is 2.8 million GP, which is really, really high, and a Sears ring. Rings have gone up tons in preparation to the new ring upgrades for these that are coming out with the new boss, the Dinosaur version of Dagannoth Kings. So even though it says 88k on this Sears ring, it's going to be worth so much more. Every single ring from Dagannoth Kings is currently over a mil, which is absolutely awesome. Obviously, the prices of the rings and stuff are going to change. It just depends on how these new bosses go and how the upgrades are, to see where they actually settle. But in terms of the Sears ring, I sold one for 1.7 million GP, which is really nice. I made over 9 million GP in this second hour with these 2 items dropped. That's pretty damn insane in terms of how much money I actually made from Dagannoth Kings. They're really, really, really strong money right now. Pretty fun to do, a pretty engaging boss in general. And with the additions like action bar key binding and stuff like that, they're fairly chill and definitely worth doing right now. If you're interested in doing Dagannoth Kings, now is the time. Whether you want to get your pets for IFB or get the log done or whatever, now is 100% the time. I'm 1 pet away from the log, so I'm going to be camping Dagannoth Kings for a fair amount of time right now. And that will be it for today's video. Hopefully you did enjoy. Give it a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you're new for loads of future content all related to RuneScape 3. And until next time, see ya.